Hello Wineliners, I am Raslava, sommelier and wine educator, your guide on this journey through a world of wines, spirits and cocktails. With this video, I continue my series on Greek viniculture. In the first episode, I explored the history of Greek winemaking, its modern wine regulations, and the distinctive character of Retsina, Greece's most iconic wine. The second episode focused on Santorini, the Aegean island renowned for its ancient vineyards and extraordinary viniculture, which dates back thousands of years. The third episode pays attention to Crete, the island where Greek viniculture originated and where its modern renaissance is especially remarkable. You can find the links in the first comment. In this part, I would like to talk about mainland Greece, from northern Macedonia down to the southern Peloponnese. Greece grows more than 200 native grape varieties, along with many international ones, and vineyards exist throughout the entire country. Of course, it does not make sense to cover every single region and variety, so let's focus on the most important and interesting ones. When it comes to wine, mainland Greece can be divided into three parts: northern, central, and southern. Northern Greece includes Epirus, Macedonia, and Thrace. The climate here is continental, unlike the mild Mediterranean climate of the rest of Greece. Winters are cold, rainy and windy, and in the mountains snowy. Summers are hot and dry, and many vineyards need irrigation. Within the north, Macedonia is the most important wine region. Its specialty is red wine made from Xinamavra grape. Together with Agriargitica, Xinamavra is one of Greece's leading red varieties. In the Cherson vineyard area, it currently ranks third after Agriargitica and Leatica, although Leatica is grown mainly in Crete. Xinamavra is known for its high acidity and powerful tannins. Interestingly, the name of variety comes from the words xina, meaning sour, and mavra, meaning black. The sour part is accurate, but the black part is not so much. Yes, the grapes are dark, but their skins are not particularly rich in pigment, and the color fades quickly. As a result, Xinamavra wines tend to lose color and turn rusty faster than the most other red wines. Still, they are very well suited for long aging. In fact, they need it, thanks to grapes' sharp acidity and strong tannins. The fruity notes in young Xinamavra wines are quite weak, so the taste can be dull, over-acidic, and very astringent. But with age, and the best Xinamavra wines can take more than a decade to reach their peak, the harsh age softens and the complex aromas of spices and earthy notes emerge. Normally, Xinamavra wines are not released until at least 2 years after harvest. When mature, they are full-bodied, tannic, well-structured, with refreshing acidity and aromas of red fruits, tomatoes, olives, dried fruits, tobacco, spices, and nuts. With such characteristics, it's not surprising that Xinamavra is used mainly for full-bodied, age-worthy reds. But perhaps, more surprisingly, it is also used to make rosé and even white and sparkling wines. Many people compare Xinamavra to Italy's Nebbiolo because of a similar structure and character. In fact, the best wines of Naoussa are often compared with the great Barolos. Naoussa is the key APAP here, and just to remind you, APAP is the Greek PDO classification. Naoussa was actually the very first Greek wine region to receive this status, back to 1975. The vineyards are located on the eastern slopes of Mount Vermio, at altitude from 150 to 450 meters. It is considered the birthplace of Xinamavra, and Naoussa makes only red, age-worthy wines, exclusively from 100% Xinamavra. If you are looking for the very best expression of this grape, Naoussa is the place to find it. On the northern slope of Mount Vermio, at the altitude up to 700 meters, lies APAP Amendaio. This is the coldest wine region in Greece, and the Xinamavra grown here has the sharpest acidity. Under the APAP classification, they make wines only from 100% Xinamavra, but the range includes not only reds, but also rosé, white and sparkling wines. In fact, Amendaio is one of only 2 appellations in Greece that produce sparkling wine. If you prefer the new world fruity floral style, pay attention to the hottest neighbor APAP Gomenissa, on the lower slope of Mount Pycon. Here, Xenamavra blended with Nigosca produces very fruity, sometimes jammy wines. Now a quick detour to another northern appellation, Apap Zitza, located in the mountains of Epirus at the average altitude about 650 meters. This is the coldest part of mainland Greece, and it's grow only the Dibina grape. In Zitza's cool climate, Dibina produces some of Greece's most elegant wines, both still and sparkling, and the sparkling wine is the region specialty. Let's also talk about white grape that deserve a spotlight, Malagousia. Once nearly lost, Malagousia is now grown across Greece, for its homeland is central Greece. In northern Greece, it receives special attention. Think of Malagousia as a kind of Greek Cinderella. And the old variety has been almost vanished by the end of 20th century, until the 1930s, when the enology professor Vasilis Logothetis found the last surviving wines. He passed them to his student Vangelis Gerovasilou and the man Portokaras, and later Gerovasilou cultivated them in his own vineyards, reviving the variety. Malagousia makes rich aromatic wines, a bit like mix between Viognier and Chardonnay. They are often full-bodied yet refreshing, with notes of peach, green pepper, herbs, and flowers. In cool northern sites, Malagousia can develop bright lemon and basil notes. Both dried and sweet style exist. The sweet version is mainly from the central Greece. Drink dry Malagousia young, full often can age nicely for up to 4 years, but sweet wine can keep up to 7. Now let's move to central Greece, Attica and Thessaly. Thessaly has real potential, but is not yet fully realized. The region grows a lot of grapes, yet standout wines are still emerging. The main trend focus here is Apap Ramsani, where Xenamavra plays an important role. Attica is dominated by Cevantiana, and much of the area is known for Ricina, a topic I covered in detail in the first Greece video. That said, Cevantiana from older wine deserves attention. While young wine fruits often go to Ricina, fruit from the old vines can produce surprisingly good wines that will age for up to 5 years. Production is small, but those wines are definitely worth noting. The southern part of mainland Greece is the Peloponnese Peninsula, a very important region for wine and for Greek culture in general. The first place to highlight is Apap Nemea, on the northeast near Corinth. This is the Greece's largest appellation, centered around the village of Nemea, and it makes outstanding red wines from the Agrigetica grape. Agrigetica is the Greece's most widely grown red variety. It is native to the country and cultivated everywhere, producing a wide range of wines, from refreshing rosé to light and simple reds to powerful aromatic long-aged reds. But its homeland is Nemea, and under the Apap rules, wines here must be 100% Agrigetica. Locally, the wine is called the blood of Hercules. Legend says the Hercules ever celebrated his victories over the Nemean lion with this wine, the same lion whose skin he wore forever after, or he drank it beforehand to summon his fighting spirit. The grape's name itself means Grape of St. George, likely referring to the local church. Fittingly, St. George is also famous for slaying great beasts, so perhaps Agrigetica wines truly can awake a hero in you. The vineyards of Nemea spread across the hillside from 250 to 800 meters above sea level. At the lower hot altitudes, grapes lack acidity, so wines here tends to be lighter and simpler, sometimes even made with carbonic maceration. But high altitude vineyards, cooler and slower ripening, yield magnificent wines, deep ruby in color, with powerful yet soft tannins, balanced acidity and aromas of red fruits and sweet spices. These wines age beautifully. I have tried bottles over 10 years old and they were superb. For white wine lovers, the key region is Patras, on the northern Peloponnese. 3 varieties dominate here: Rhoditis, Klagorti, and Sideritis, all forming the base for refreshing light wines. Rhoditis is Greece's most widely planted grape. Grown carelessly in unsuitable places, it often produces simple table wines. But in the cooler climate of Patras, where carefully managed, Rhoditis shines, yielding delicate, mineral-driven wines with aromas of lemon and freshness. The Apap Patras appellation is entirely devoted to Raditis. It is the perfect place to describe its real potential. Lagorti is much rare, found almost only here. Its wines are lighter, highly acid, mineral and floral, elegant rather than powerful. They are usually drunk young, within 3 years, but some styles can last up to 8 years. Sideritis is another local variety, also concentrated in Patras. With peeled skins, it's make medium-bodied wines and rosés, aromatic and lovely, with good acidity, citrus and white flower notes, and touch of white pepper, which is often blended, especially with Raditis. And Patras are also famous for sweet wines. Traditionally, the region produces luxurious muscat-based desert wine and rich reds from Mavrodafni. Another notable region is Mantinia, located in the very center of Peloponnese. Vineyards here are grown in a higher, relatively cool plateau, which makes it perfect for aromatic grapes. The main variety is Mascafilera, a pink-skinned grape that produces light-bodied whites and rosé. Mascafilera wines are crisp, refreshing, and highly aromatic, often compared in intensity to Muscat or even Gewürztraminer. The character is floral above all, with touch of sweet fruits, creating an ideal summer wine. In recent years, some producers have also begun to make sparkling Mascafilera, which suits the grape's lovely acidity perfectly. In the far south of Peloponnese, near the town of Manivmasia, lies the young appellation Manivmasia Malvasia, established only in 2010. Its goal was to revive the historic desert wine Malvasis Aeneas, once famous across Europe during the Venetian period. Back then, Manivmasia was a fortified port, and through it this celebrated Greek wine was exported far and wide. The wine was known as Malvasia for the name of the port itself. The grape behind it was called Manivmasia, not interestingly related to the much larger Malvasia family of grapes used elsewhere for desert wines. This confusion, perhaps intentional, meant that Malvasia became the name applied to many different wines across the Mediterranean, always with a local identifier. The variety thrived in the southern Peloponnese until Ottoman times, when viniculture declined. Manivazia then found a second home in the islands, especially Paros, where it's still important today. But in the Peloponnese, the legendary Malvasis Aeneas has been reborn under the name Manivmasia Malvasia. It is made from sun-dried grapes and aged in barrels for at least 2 years. By law, it must contain at least 51% Manivmasia blended with Assyrtика, Asprodes, and Kidonica. The result is rich, golden desert wine, carrying both history and legend in every glass. This concludes our brief overview on mainland Greece's winemaking. Of course, I touched only the most important and famous regions and varieties, and only the local grapes, the unique treasure of Greece. Naturally, Greece also grows many international varieties, often producing excellent wines from them. But what makes Greece truly fascinating are its indigenous grapes. These are wines you cannot taste anywhere else in the world, at least not yet. Today I have a Georgitica from Nemea, 2021. Let's try. This one for you, this one for me. Red fruits, spices. Pronounced but very soft tannins. Rich complex taste. Cherry, raspberry, red plum. Spices, cinnamon and white pepper. Lifa. Very nice Georgitica. Hercules would have liked it. Stay with me, subscribe to my channel. Feel free to ask questions and don't hesitate to support me. Au revoir!